Hello, welcome in. Welcome to Taco About It Tuesday. I am Karma with Lewis Acre Farm, and my beautiful co host is.
Hi, I'm Glenda from Grace and Fire. Thank you so much for joining us today.
We're so happy that you're here with us, and we're excited to talk about it. Don't
Yeah,
know what that's going to be.
no
We don't
tacos
ever,
required.
yes, no tacos required. And we never pre plan our conversations, we just let it roll. Kind of like what are those taquitos or
Yeah,
rolled tacos? Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yeah.
we just let it roll.
Just let it go.
And so come along with us for the ride and let's have fun.
Yeah.
Now, I know that the way that we do this, because Glenda has been so gracious to be my co-host for Taco About It Tuesday, and she has a premium account with sorry, Bianca just walked by with a long old fish in her mouth
Oh,
and walked under the bed.
like a real
It's
fish?
no,
Oh, I was like,
it's one of
wow.
those it's one of those kicker toys for cats.
Uh-huh.
And as she's getting close to weaning her babies, she's been packing things around and talking a
Oh,
lot. And she just come walking by with the great big long trout as she goes walking under the bed. And I'm like, what is she? Oh, it's the fish.
I actually got I used to have a cat a long time ago, and she would we had an aquarium too, and she enjoyed, "Hey, cameraman."
Welcome in.
I'm giving him kisses. That's my uncle. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Uncle cameraman. That's Aunt Lynn's husband.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But anyhow, so my cat used to sit on the back of the aquarium, and she would just like and scoop a fish. And then she would actually eat. That's why I'm asking, is it a real fish? Because I had a cat that once would do that. And then I had frogs in that aquarium, and she used to eat the heads of the frogs and leave the body.
Oh,
But they're the little aquarium frogs, if you know what I mean.
oh, Bronson just told me I'm a winner.
You're a winner. Oh,
I am. We have this wonderful, wonderful chain of stores in the Pacific Northwest called Bimart.
okay.
And the on at Bimart they have Lucky Number Tuesday.
Okay.
And if you go to your local store, you get a lifetime membership for $5.
Okay.
And you get your little card, and on your card you have a number. And on Tuesdays, they have they draw a big winner, and they have some wonderful, really nice prize for the big winner. And there's one winner per store. And
Okay.
then they have a whole list of other winners for the whole number. And there's four prizes, and you can choose one of the four prizes. Then they'll go by the last number of your number, and it'll be some small number or small prize like a dish towel or um, popcorn or a bag of chips or something like that. And a whole bunch of people can win that if it's the last number. Well, the last number of my card number is 4, and I believe that's how I won. Let's see what he said.
She just won. For those who are just joining, Karma just won.
Let's see. You're number 1 today. They have these small 5-gallon totes. I think they might be about out of them, though, so they might give out something else when they run out. I'm not sure. And I can't go anywhere until Logan gets home from work.
Ah, you
So anyway, but I did win. Yay!
congratulations.
Anyway, I have won on the group of 4 prizes. I've won a weed eater, a Sunjoe brand weed eater, or Greenworks. Greenworks. I've won a
Good brand.
Greenworks Greenworks weed eater
Yep.
and a Greenworks electric chainsaw. And I won another item too that I can't think of right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
We need one of those near us. I'd like to win things too.
It's a Pacific Northwest employee owned discount store.
That's
And do
awesome.
you remember King's?
The name sounds familiar. It's
And
been
it's
20 plus years.
department store.
Yes, yes.
It's kind of like JJ Newberry's or Woolworth,
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay,
along those lines.
okay.
Okay, that's kind of along the lines of what Mart is, but it's a Pacific Northwest regional department store.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
love it.
I'm a winner
You
again.
are a winner. You're always a winner. But today was a special kind of winner. So that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I
Oh, what I was starting to tell everybody when we first started, Glenda has premium restream,
Yep.
and I didn't feel like it was fair for her to always be coming over to my channel and giving me so much of her time without getting, well, hi, Bubba. Bubba's down here playing with my feet. um, giving me so much of her time every week without getting the benefit of the watch hours. Well, hi, Minnie. Um, come here, Minnie. This is Minnie Pearl.
Oh, hi,
Um,
Minnie.
get some light going on here. Here we
There we
go. There's
go.
Minnie Pearl.
Minnie is
She
the
has
one.
a bracelet.
Minnie's the one that looks like my cat. Can I
Anyways,
I gotta tell you,
so I allow Glenda to set up the restream with my thumbnail and everything. And um so it looks like she's hosting
yes,
Talk About It Tuesday, but it's really coming from my channel.
yes,
It's
yes,
my baby, and
yes,
she's the co-host,
it is.
but
Correct.
she sets it up for me through her premium restream account.
Yeah, I bought Restream right before we did Talk About It Tuesday, like maybe a week or two. And then you asked me to join you and I'm like, well, that'd be awesome. And then I like Restream because I want to help other content creators out to co-stream, which it works really great when I'm running my mom's channel too.
Mhm.
She uses StreamYard, but she can't co-stream. So whenever I've had to run her show for her, I run it through Restream, and then it helps my channel too out, and then it helps get the word out about who my mom is too. It kind
Mhm.
of does both, you know.
Right.
And anybody else who wants to come on as a guest, I'm able to go, here's the link, and then they can go in and they can co-stream. So I got it before. I didn't buy it for Talk About It Tuesday. I got it before.
Right.
But I'm so glad to be able to use it though. I mean, it's
Yeah.
worth it, I think, you know.
I'm really glad that you're able to benefit from the time that you spend with me every week.
Oh, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And I love setting up. It's no big deal. I have actually next week set up too because I
Yeah.
tend to forget things. I mean, on my end, like I am like horrible with setting up my own lives. I don't know, some of the people that are in here that are watching have noticed I had been last minuting my Saturday night lives. So I
I
try
thought
to
for
go click,
sure.
it's going.
I thought for sure I had created the thumbnail and sent it to you last week, and I'm like, "Oh, I've already got it done, so I didn't do it." And so, like, literally
It's
2 hours ago, I sent you the thumbnail, and I thought, "I'm just gonna do next week's and get it done right now."
And I went ahead and set up for next week too, just because I don't want to forget. I'm always worried that I'm going to forget to talk about Tuesday because I know how bad I am with Saturday nights. And I'm going, okay, I'm going to get this. So I figured, let's just do this right at the beginning, you know? I
And
mean,
the funny thing is, it won't let me go in and join until tomorrow.
right. Oh, it won't? You can't come.
No.
Oh, no.
So tomorrow I will go in and join
Okay,
so that it'll already be on my channel for next week.
good, 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 good.
So
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad because I'm like, oh, I am not a perfect person. I ain't gonna lie. I mess up. So I just like, we'll get that together, you know, but no, it's no big deal to set it up. Um, it's an honor. Just and it takes me 2 minutes as long as I remember that the show. Because remember, one last weekend last week I put for 4:45 instead of 5 o'clock
oh,
because my
yeah.
Saturday nights are at 4:45, not at 5. Oh, I'll get it together. You know, sometimes I think I'm a hot mess express. Oh, well, before we get going, I want to say hello to whoever's in the chat. So, first in was Miss Rebecca Touch My Arm. Of course, Restream did not show it, but she was first up. Hey, sweetheart. She was first up in Karma's page because I checked. And then under mine was my wonderful cameraman. He is actually my uncle. He's Aunt Lynn's husband. That's for my uncle cameraman. He says, roll caption roll on your mystery chat. Love it. And then he said, hello. And then next in, there's Miss Rebecca, but she was first on your channel. So there she is, beautiful Rebecca. Thank you so much for being here. And if Ronald is watching, happy belated birthday. She did a live, a pop-up live for Ronald's birthday the other day. And I was sitting down eating roast beef, watching her eating all her she had a porter steak and some vegetables, some roasted vegetables. And I'm like, girl, I'm eating some of those same vegetables right now. So happy.
Cameraman, this is Idaho Joe, and he was the firstborn of my last litter of kittens that was born on April 18th. He had a very traumatic birth, and I saved his life. He
They,
has the shape of Idaho on his forehead. It was very defined when he was born, but it's kind of fading into his fluff now.
oh, and then I got to say hello to Troy. Hey, Troy.
Hey, Troy.
Speaking of food with Miss Rebecca cooking, I follow him on Instagram through Hens of Grace and Fire, and he cooks some pretty good meals. I'm just saying. I'm like, can I open my kitchen up, Sir Grace, and I will get all the ingredients. You can come on over and cook. He's been making some really good recipes lately.
I've heard about some of the recipes, but I
Mhm.
haven't laid eyes on them yet.
Maybe he needs to do a video, even if it's on
He should.
Instagram. Maybe
He
a
should be doing them.
video. I mean, do it up on the YouTube too. I'd follow because I like
Well,
getting ideas for cooking.
I don't do Instagram. I need to start. I need to, but I just don't. I like YouTube.
Oh no, that's okay. Is it okay if I just share my Instagram? Would that be okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, so if you guys are on your phones and you want to follow the Grace and Fire Instagram page, it's called Hens
Hey,
of
Rudy.
F. You can take your phone and just QR code it, and it'll take you straight there. And you're welcome to follow along and see what the little hens are up to. Um, and I've got some more videos that I need to put up of the girls, but they got a new chicken run, and it has been such a blessing. And they're all getting used to it. I put in a tunnel for them, a cat tunnel, and none of them have gone through the tunnel. Despite all the treats in the middle, they're still, they just don't care for the tunnel. But anyhow, well, I'm going to take that down. If anybody wants that back up, let me know. But I'm going to take it down for now. But that's my Instagram page. And it's just all things chickens about my flock. So let's see here. Oh, Rudy is here. Hello, Rudy. Thank you so much for being here. And
And
then
Octal is here.
oh, did I miss? Oh,
Yeah, I saw Octal showed up.
so
I'm glad you're here
sorry.
today too. Haven't seen you in a while.
Oh, I'm so
Nice to see
sorry.
you.
And then we have Suburban Hillbilly. Hey,
Urban
hey, girl, how
Hillbilly.
are
Hey.
you? And you don't have Instagram? That's okay. That's okay. I have one for the hens, and I love posting the videos on it. And it's just something just to take your mind off things through the day and just to laugh and enjoy watching the girls. Glenda, there's always an introverted seats for the table for you. Okay, so Grace and I are coming with the puppers. Get ready. I have a fork and a spoon on the other hand, one in one hand and an empty belly. Because I'm telling you, those recipes that you've been cooking, they look good.
I'm just a little jelly. You're awful close to so many people. And well, hi, Idaho. You coming back for some more loves?
Well, I have to.
Um,
Is it
you
okay?
guys are all so close, and I'm out here in the desert, and the only people that are close that ever get close are Jesse and Lisa, and they always stop by now, which
Uh,
I love. I love that.
well, it makes it nice whenever, they, her mom is from, and dad are
Oregon.
up in Oregon. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, Troy, I'm gonna show one of the meals. Okay, I'm gonna put my finger over your name just in case, and we'll do it like that. Up, 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 up. Hang on, wrong one. Do 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 do. Do it like that.
Oh, that does look absolutely wonderful.
Isn't that good looking? I'm like,
It is.
hello. He says light lunch crab salad on sourdough with leftover seafood scampi. Yes, sign me up.
Hmm.
You need to seriously, like do some videos on the
Yeah. You should do some videos and post them to your YouTube.
yeah, yeah, or even Instagram, whichever. I want the
Both. I
recipes.
mean, if you're going to do the videos,
Yeah, just share the love
post
between
them
the
to
two people.
both.
Yeah, looks really good. It looks good. I'm just saying. I hope you're feeling
Mhm.
good too, because man, you're cooking all these meals. That's got to give you a lot of energy to get up and get moving. He's a little warrior, that Troy is. He's been through some things and
Yeah.
he's getting up and eating all those good, making those good meals and doing good. I enjoy seeing it. I'm cheering you on still, Troy. Keep going. Keep going. So, anyhow, oh, let's see. Oh, Rebecca and Troy are talking to each other. Oh,
Yeah.
well, did you do anything for Memorial Day weekend?
I chased kittens.
You chased kittens. Oh my.
Yeah. Let
Oh,
me just say bedtime.
bedtime. Mm. Yeah, you're ready to go to
Bedtime.
bed. Yeah.
China's six pack is too big for the pop up tents now.
Oh,
And mommy, they're younger than the rest. And mommy needs to have access to them
yeah.
for nursing through the night. And they can climb out of said pup tents. So they need to be in the big plate pen.
Hmm.
The big kids don't need to nurse through the night.
No.
So they can go into the pop up plate pens.
Yeah.
And I have them butted together so that there's a pass through door.
Yeah.
Well, first night I tried it, I was literally pulling my hair out and screaming at them because, first off, Caroline destroyed one of the doors, which made it so that I had to kind of do the pass through door.
Right.
I didn't know that somewhere along the way, either the babies or one of the mamas had destroyed one of the panels and made a pass through. So as fast as I was putting them in, they were finding the hole and coming out.
Little stinkers.
And it was mainly Logan's Spice. She is
Oh, the little
devil child.
one.
She is a little devil child.
Little
I
Miss
mean,
Brass. Mm-mm-mm.
and it was 11:30 at night.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get everybody into bed. Some of them were being really good and just staying in there. They didn't want to be in there, but
Yeah.
they were staying. And I had Spice, the ringleader.
Mm-hmm.
As fast as I'd put her in, she would be out. And then Chris and Becky were following her. So I had kittens everywhere. And then I have China's two or three of China's that will just find a hole and fall asleep. And
Mm.
I haven't been able to spend as much time with them. And so they don't come to me like the others do. And so you're doing head counts throughout the day, and I need to come up to 13 every time. And I'm coming up to 10, and then I'd come up to 11, and then I'd come up to 9, and then I'd get to 12, and then I'd be back down to 10, and I could never get the right count.
Mm.
And I'd find all 7 of the older ones, but I'd only have 4 of the little ones, and I couldn't find them. And yeah, bedtime is chaotic.
Imagine. My goodness. I
And
can't.
then the mamas, Caroline needs nighttime to have a break from everybody else that's
Right.
in the house. Otherwise, she gets on the warpath. And so I try to get the 3 mamas to come in to the bedroom so I can shut the door. And as fast as I get the kittens in where they belong, the mamas decide, oh, now's the time we're going to go use the litter boxes that are in the rest of the house, and we're going to go eat the food that's set out for all the other cats.
Wow.
And I try to call them back in. As fast as I get 1 or 2 of them in, the other one will leave. And so it's like back and forth, and I'm just,
Oh my goodness.
yeah,
Wow.
bedtime.
Yeah. That would be a rough
So
week.
think of me at bedtime.
I'll probably go right to sleep though, because I'm super tired tonight. As you can see, no makeup, and I'm just kind of like, I'll probably
But
go.
I ordered a dog kennel
Yeah.
on wheels so that I can move it out of my way and I can get rid of the playpens that are destroyed. So,
Oh.
hey,
Oh.
Randy, welcome in.
Let me see this. Troy said he made it to Mid America with a ride. Goal is I will drive myself to Tin Keller next year. Yes, you will. You are going to be
Good goal.
you're going to be healed enough to where you can do that. Let me tell you, there's something about our veterans that they have that tenacity and that drive and to do it. And watch Troy because he's going to be driving himself. And everybody's
Yeah.
going to go beep, beep right at him because he did it. And
That's awesome.
veterans, Randy popped in. He's an Air Force veteran, that Air Force heart of mine. He said, I'm late. What? You're late? I wondered what was taking you so long. Why were you late? Oh, you were doing a mail call. I guess I'll give you just a little bit of some grace. Someone sent me a block. It wasn't you. No, back to the fire. You're late now, Randy. You're late. I just found that.
It's okay, Randy. It's all right.
Who knows I'm going to harass him too. I'm going to keep going now. I know.
It's only been we've only been going for about 25 minutes. It's okay.
You're in time. I mean, we can keep it up now, Randy. I'll tell you, he is a salt of the earth. kind of guy, though. I do appreciate Randy, and he knows I'm teasing him, so out of
Oh,
love. So.
yeah.
But no, we had a really eventful weekend. No YouTube video, so I'm going to apologize. No YouTube video. But part 3, well, that you'll understand why. Part 3 of Glenda does something to her mother while she's out of town happened. Except for it really wasn't totally me this time. No
Mm.
video for YouTube. There is a video, but no video for YouTube. My nephew joined the Army Reserves this past week. And as his auntie, I am so proud of him. You
Absolutely.
have to understand that this is just such pride. And I'm super protective as an auntie, but I will share a little bit about what he did, which I'm so proud of him. So the weekend prior, his brother graduated from high school, and he said, Aunt Glenda, are you going to do anything to grandma's house while she's out of town? And I went, no, I really don't think I better. I mean, we're all cruising to Alaska, and I know she's going to get me good. Payback is coming. Payback is coming. And he goes, well, he said, you want to spend Monday together? It's the day before he left for basic. Do you want to spend Monday together? And I went, okay. He goes, I got a plan for grandma's house. And I'm like, yes.
The genes run deep.
But what's funny is he's a quiet man. He's a very quiet guy. He's reserved, and he reminds me of one of my boys, and he sits back and he watches the room. That's just
You
who
gotta watch the quiet ones.
he's a quiet one, and he's an observer. He's gonna be good for the Army because he's just that kind. He's got that drive, but he also observes. There's just a thing about him. But anyhow, so we show up on Monday, and we have some ducks. I'm not going to say how many in case my mother is watching, so I can't say. But they're bigger this time. They're the Disney ducks. So they from the Dollar Tree, and they're about like that big. So she can find them this time. She still hasn't found all the other Jesus and baby ducks from my first go round.
She's going to go quackers.
Crackers. So he hid them around her house, and he came up with a riddle. And so it is filmed. That's why I say it's filmed, but it's not filmed for YouTube. And so he came up with a riddle and left that video for my mom so she can find them. And there's a lot of clues. And hopefully, she said she's found a couple, but she said she hasn't found them all yet. And I said, did you go back and watch the riddle? And she goes, no, I've been too tired. She said she's just been finding them on her own. And I said, go back and watch the riddle and pay attention to what he has to say, and you will find your ducks. And then he went around and he changed pictures, and he hid pictures of himself all over her house. All
Oh,
over. But what's funny, he left her with a big gift. It was so funny that Mom and Dave came home on the weekend. Dave is Dave from Dave's Gaming Cave. That's his channel. And he said, oh no, Glenda did it again. Well, guess what he got smacked with? It wasn't my doing either. He got hit with a 5-foot blow up rubber duck. The room was completely dark, and this thing glowed. I died laughing. The day that he got on Monday, before he left for basic, he pulled that thing out of the box, and I just busted a gut laughing.
that's
I
awesome.
couldn't help it. It just was the funniest thing. And so anyhow, so he left that for his grandmother, and this duck is going to be making some more appearances this summer at different homes, and it's going to be this is what the duck did while you were at basic training. Yeah, I know. Army, no way. You know what I told him? I said, we have every branch in the military represented except for the Coast Guard and the Space Force. And I said, buddy, you're so smart. Why didn't you go Space Force? And he goes, the Army was calling. So, Yes, he went into Army Reserves. He sounds just
My
like
dad was Army.
was he?
Mhm.
So, my father-in-law was Army. I have no contact with my paternal side, but he was Army. Um, and my grandfather was Army. Dave from Dave's Gaming Cave was Army, and the Army was calling him. So we have the Navy as well. We have the Marines. Where is my Marine, Mister Uncle Cameraman? That's my Marine. He's a Marine and a soldier. He did both branches. Aunt Lynn was in the Army as well. So,
My dad's side, we have Army, Air Force, Navy, um, I don't know if we have Marine and Coast Guard,
okay.
but I know we have multiples of the Army, Navy, and Air Force.
Okay. Well, Marines, we only have Cameraman, my uncle, and then Air Force is Sir Grace. And then we have, well, I have one that was Navy, my grandfather. And then my other grandfather was Army. And then Sir Grace's grandfather was Navy as well. I have pictures of him in the Navy. And then Sir Grace's dad was Army. So, I mean, we have a long lineage. I did the genealogy a few years ago, and because I wanted to become a member of the Daughters of the American Revolution, and we had to find a patriot in the family in order for me to do that. And so we did. I have a patriot, and so I was able to become a DAR. Now I'm not active right now, but just because I took a step back to be caregiver.
Mhm.
But yeah. Oh, hello, Eden. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi.
It's not
That's a new
showing.
one for me.
Yeah. Now it's not showing your emoji, but I know which one you're doing. You're waving. So hello, hello. It's just the way that Restream is showing it. Um,
On Logan's side of the family, we have multiple Marines.
oh, really?
Um, and I think Army and Air Force. I know that my father-in-law was Air Force.
Okay.
Um, and I think that's what it is Marines, lots of Marines, um, Air Force, and possibly one or two Army on Logan's side of the family.
Oh, I didn't know that. Uncle Cameraman, my dad was a merchant marine in the Dutch service. Wow.
That's cool.
I had no idea. So for some people, if you, my uncle knows about this, but if I pan it this way, that is actually my grandfather's casket flag. So
Okay.
yeah, so that from whenever he was,
Suburban hillbilly. On my side of the family, all I have left is my dad and my son. And then I have one of my dad's brothers, his wife. Um, my dad does have one brother left and his wife, but I've never really known them.
mm,
So I kind of don't count them because I don't really know them.
mm.
And but that's all I have left in my family.
Oh, you know you're good.
Yeah.
You're fine. You know, you're fine. You're fine. And then real quick, hello, Bella. Thank you for popping in. And then Troy said, I'm Army, Navy, National Guard in West Virginia and South Carolina, worked with Marines in Somalia and Bosnia. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I didn't know that. I thought you were just Army, but I didn't know you were in the Navy and the National Guard. Wow. Hats off to you. Hats
Wow, that
off
is
to you.
impressive.
Yeah, that is very impressive. Um, Cameraman was in the Marines first, and then he went into the Army National Guard. And then, yep, his sister is a Marine as well.
One of Logan's brothers was a Marine, and his wife is a Marine, or was, they both served in the Marines.
Once a Marine, always a Marine.
Exactly. And
Mhm.
then his two children,
Yeah.
his daughter and son, both Marines. Um, so their entire family is Marine. And I was trying to think. Logan's stepdad is Air Force, and I can't remember if he said his biological dad was Army. I know he's got a lot of family that has served.
Yes, they do. I know a lot of Marines that eat crayons. Do I owe you a pack of Crayolas? You know I love you. That's my uncle. I'm real life. Oh, yes. I have my grandfather. So the reason I have my grandfather's is because my grandmother gave it to me, but I wanted it, but I didn't want to like step in because really I'm not next to kin. But my grandfather and I always talked about Japan. That's actually where he was stationed at. His first tour was Japan, and he was there working with Japanese women right after the bombing. He was there for the cleanup,
Mhm.
and he picked up Japanese fluently. He could speak it to the day he died. Now,
Wow.
could I do it? Skoshi. I can hear it and I know what they're saying, but I can't actually speak it back.
Mhm.
It's kind of one of those things. But I picked up just a little bit, and he always teased. He was never mad, but he teased me like he was mad. And he'd say, Glenda, why didn't you pick up Japanese? And he'd speak it to me in Japanese. And I was like, oh, but skoshi, 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 you know? And so, and then he'd make me tell him what, what I knew. And I told him, well, one of the things I needed to know was where's the bathroom. So I had to pick that up. I was pregnant twice over there. You have this big belly. You don't want to go, to a porta pot, like with a hole in the floor. I'm sorry. That's kind of,
Yeah.
you need to know where the bathroom's at.
Right.
So, so I knew it, but English honestly is the second language. And I taught English in my home. And the first thing that Japanese wanted to know was all the cuss words. And that was super hard. I'm telling you, it was super hard. I'd had to put my little one to bed and shut the door. And then there was a hallway door, and I'd shut that door because I thought, I don't want her hearing it. And so we sat down and I went through all the words. And the reason that they wanted to know the cuss words first was because they didn't want to encounter an American cussing them out and them going domo arigato gozaimasu, and bow their head saying thank you so very much to being cussed out. So that's the first thing they wanted to learn. And I
Mm.
knew like when I'd go into Tokyo by myself, if I couldn't figure out how to read kanji to get back to the train station, I could speak to somebody and they would be willing to help me out and figure out where my train station was at so I could go. So anyhow, my grandfather and I had this connection. And when my grandmother was going through her home, she said, is there anything that you would want? And I said, well, I don't want to take from mom and her siblings, but if I could have one thing that was grandpa's, it would be his casket flag, just because we always talked about Japan, him and I. And
Mhm.
while I was never in the military, I want to make that super clear. A lot of people think I was in the military. I was not. I was a spouse.
You
I,
were.
I still am, but I came extremely close to joining the Air Force before 9/11. And Sir Grace asked me not to. And he'll tell you that's his worst mistake in life. He's like, I should have let you do what you wanted. You held back on your dream. But you know what? It worked out in the end for having the kiddos because I raised the kids. Wow. This was before 9/11, before the world changed. So anyhow, but no, that's the one thing. And it actually has his name, and it has his army information on there. And it's one of my things. I bought the case for it because I knew exactly where I wanted to get it from, and I knew exactly what it needed to have into it. So whenever I got the flag, that was just like that special connection with my grandfather. That he was a great man too. And cameraman will agree with that. He was a great man, my grandfather. So let's see. I'm still hoping my grandfathers will turn up. I know who has it and doesn't appreciate it. They just yawns want me to have it. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hopefully you get that back. I hope
Yeah.
you get back. I already have somebody that wants it. One of my kids actually wants it like horribly bad. And so I put his name in the back of it and I said, this is to go to. And so that way he gets it, making sure that it stays in the family. But he loved my grandfather. It's his great grandfather. And so he's like, I want his casket flag. And I'm like, okay, so I know it's going on to a good home after me, um,
Mm-hmm.
which is nice to be able to share those stories and of who he was and what he remembers of him, because he didn't get to be with him as much as like I did. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but he's got some good stories about my grandfather and be able to
That's
share that
awesome.
legacy on. Yeah. Yeah. And he was also a pastor too. So if you ever hear me talking about my grandfather who was a pastor, it's the same guy. So he just was in the military first as a young man. Amen. Your grandpa, my father-in-law. Yeah, he was an incredible guy. And I have to say, his funeral was probably the funniest funeral I've ever been to. I don't know if you've ever been to a pastor's funeral, but they're not sad. They are not sad. 3 pastors and their wives came in for his funeral. And
Mm-hmm.
we all just got to laughing and just it was a celebration of life. It was just a huge celebration, right? And it was so long that it was 3 hours, and the
Oh,
funeral,
wow.
it was in January and it's dead of winter, freezing cold where I'm at. And the funeral director went to Aunt Lynn and said, just so you know, the army guys are all at the cemetery and they're freezing and they're waiting on you. Had to
Oh,
shut the
no.
funeral down. Like, it's over, you guys. So she stood up. She goes, well, the army's waiting on us. We're done. We gotta go. I will never in a million years forget it. So they loaded him up and we were on the road and that guy was flying. It was funny. Yeah. It was funny. It was funny. But that I'll tell you, that's my grandpa's legacy for you too. Oh, aren't you cute? Which one are you?
This is Rebecca.
Aw, Rebecca, there's your namesake. Oh, but yeah, we have a lot of military in the family, and so anyhow, back to Memorial Day weekend. It I'm sure that some of our veterans that are in here will understand. It was a hard day, Memorial Day, because you think about the ones that you lost. So I kept Sir Grace busy and had something planned for him to relax. I made an appointment for him and we had a relaxing afternoon, which was nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
So I have a question
Yeah.
for you
Okay.
and for any other veterans in chat.
Yeah.
I follow a lot of channels,
Yeah.
and one in particular that I follow, it is a very, very large channel.
Okay.
And last year, around this time,
Hmm.
they wished in their annual Memorial Day video,
Hmm.
acknowledging those who have paid the ultimate price.
Hmm.
They wished everybody a happy Memorial Day.
Right.
Okay. And in their comment section, they were absolutely torn to shreds for saying that.
Mm.
So this year, trying to be politically correct, they went to the other extreme in trying not to say Happy Memorial Day.
Right.
So I have my own opinion and I will share that. What is your opinion about wishing someone a happy Memorial Day?
From a military wife perspective, I don't, because I also have stood by Sir Grace through 4 combat tours.
Mhm.
And some veterans, I mean, it's a mixed bag, I'll be honest with you, but
Mhm.
for some veterans, it's a really hard day, um,
Right. And I get that.
because they had lost people, and sometimes some of the veterans, have witnessed there's trauma, there's PTSD, right?
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
it's not a happy day for them. So a lot of veterans, they it's a day of somber, it's a day of reflection.
Mhm.
Um, and I think I didn't personally put out a message, but if I because I went back and forth on how I would do it, and maybe next year I will. Um, my message would be to the Gold Star families that their loved one is thought of today. And um oh, Breezy's here. I know Breezy on a personal note. Hey,
Oh,
Breezy.
welcome in.
Hey. Um, so thank you for being here, Breezy. Grab a drink, sit back and enjoy. Um, but yeah, so it's a hard day of reflection. Um, and I know that a lot of Americans and want to get together and um, have picnics and things, and I don't think that's wrong either. Getting out and doing something, but when it comes to our veteran population, I think just being mindful. Um, some of them had not gone to war, and some served during peacetime, so for them it's easy, but for our combat vets, it's
Absolutely.
it's a
I get
day
that.
of remembrance, and it's very hard, and it's very raw. Unfortunately, these wars were pretty recent, and um, you still feel it. So, and some people carry guilt as well with that. Is there's a lot of
Right.
lot of feelings with it,
I can understand that.
but I think ripping a channel apart, not not cool.
Not cool.
No, I wouldn't personally have done it because I don't know that person's experience, and I can't expect somebody to fully understand. Like, I don't know who the channel is. I don't know the channel's
Right.
past experience, right? And so I think taking a step back and putting that into context, they're at least trying to recognize the weekend, for what
Right. And they did, and they always do fully acknowledge the sacrifice
right,
along with
right,
saying
right.
happy Memorial Day.
I don't,
And it's
yeah,
just, you know, so here's my personal thoughts on it. Absolutely. I 110% acknowledge the sacrifice. And that is what the holiday is for, is to acknowledge the sacrifices that have been made, the ultimate sacrifice that has been made by
mhm,
so many
mhm,
in the name of freedom. Okay. And it is because of those sacrifices that we do have so many freedoms. And we have the freedom to go on somebody's channel and very tactlessly tell them that they're wrong
yeah,
for saying happy Memorial Day. Um, it's not the right way to handle it, but that's their freedom to do so.
right,
And it's because of so many men and women who have given the ultimate sacrifice. We have that freedom.
yes, yes,
And because we have those freedoms, I am happy.
yeah. You're grateful, yeah,
I am so happy. I am so thankful, so grateful for my freedoms
mhm,
that I don't feel it's wrong to say happy Memorial Day
mm,
because I am so happy that I'm free today. I
Mhm.
am so happy to be living in America
Yeah.
and not some other country. Yes,
Right.
we have our faults. We have a lot wrong with us today. We absolutely do as Americans.
Right.
Um, there's a lot that needs to happen. There's a lot that needs to change. But we still live in the freest country
Yeah.
on earth.
Yeah.
And for that reason, I am so grateful to the sacrifices made. I am thankful that they were willing. Now, I know there were a lot that were drafted. I know that.
Mhm.
And maybe they didn't want to go, but they did it.
No, but the other
They
thing,
didn't try to dodge.
no, with the Vietnam era, I always say welcome home because, and
Absolutely.
I'll touch, if it's okay, I'll touch on Vietnam real quick. It is
Mhm.
because of Vietnam era veterans that my husband and his generation were welcomed home. They were spat on, they were treated
Yeah,
horrifically.
I
Um,
know.
and like you said, a lot of them were drafted in. My father-in-law was drafted in. He didn't go to Vietnam. He's a Vietnam era. The reason is because he was the last of his last name, and going generations back. So they never deployed him at that point. Now he deployed to another. He did deploy to war. He went to Desert Storm, Desert Shield, but he is Vietnam era. And I always try to find our Vietnam veterans and say,
Mhm.
I want you to know, welcome home from a grateful heart. Welcome
Right.
home.
Could you highlight cameraman's, message there? Not that one. Well, that one too, but the one before that.
Yeah.
In reflection of Memorial Day, I have shed a tear, but very thankful for their sacrifices to keep peace here at home. That peace does bring a kind of happiness to future generations.
Right.
Exactly. So I don't think it's wrong for me to say Happy Memorial Day, especially when I'm acknowledging the sacrifices,
Right. I
you
think,
know.
it's context too. But for me, as
Right.
somebody who's done the war stuff, and watching how that comes through, I personally don't say Happy Memorial Day. Not because I'm Veterans Day is where I'm going to highlight our veterans that are living and go up to them
Right.
and grab them and love them. But I do it in general anyhow. All that we should be thanking our veterans all the time, and
Absolutely.
our service members too. Um, I think another problem within our country, though, is that we confuse each of the holidays too. So there is an Armed Forces Day that we celebrate those on active duty. The
Mhm.
Memorial Day is for those who made the ultimate sacrifice.
Mhm.
Veterans Day is when we thank the veterans who have served
Who
this
have
country.
served.
And so I
Yeah.
think that there's some blur in line on that one too.
Mhm.
Um, and I don't think, it's wrong to enjoy the weekend. I don't think it's wrong.
No.
And I know that Sir Grace, being a four-time combat wounded warrior, would say, enjoy your weekend. It's because of the sacrifices of those who had fallen. But I think giving that space and that grace on Memorial Day for our veterans that are remembering their brothers and sisters
Absolutely.
is so important. And
Absolutely.
tearing up a channel, don't do that. Take time to have conversation. Don't if you if I think we need to take a step back and kind of understand what that person is coming from too. You know,
Especially when they've been very tactful in how they've presented
yeah,
their message.
take a step back, and maybe they didn't deploy. Maybe they don't understand. Maybe they don't, you know what I mean? And veterans are so
A lot of the tearing came from people like you who have family members that have been deployed or who have lost family members in service or,
right. And I think that's where
you know.
taking time, I'm understanding that you've got to give people grace. I mean,
Mhm.
it goes with every aspect, I think, within the veteran community. I think, kind of on a different note, service dogs. I have
Mhm.
become such an educator and a bouncer when it comes to service dogs. I say bouncer because I've had a lot of dogs I've had to like stop. Let me pull up Breezy's thing real quick. I always feel weird watching families celebrate having a 3-day break and enjoying all the Memorial Day sales and forgetting what Memorial Day really is all about. Yeah, and you have someone you understand firsthand. I will say that because I know Breezy personally. And
Mhm.
then it's sad that people don't know the difference. Yeah, a lot of people just don't. Um,
Mhm.
I just think sometimes though, if you've not lived the military life and not have stood by a warrior, you may not you in general, Karma. I don't mean you in general.
Right.
But I think if you've not actually done that, it's really difficult to explain to somebody who has never experienced it and yet has a grateful heart, wants to sit back and go, hey, I'm so thankful. But when you don't, if you don't know, you don't know, right?
Mhm.
And okay, back to the service dog thing. You know, a lot of people at the beginning, when in our small town, were like, oh, it's a glorified pet. And I'm like, no, this is a highly trained working dog, trained by a nonprofit organization, which we love. They help veterans only. That's their only mission. Very large organization,
Mhm.
not little. Um, and so having to take that time to explain how the service dog is working, you know what I mean? I've had to learn to educate people. And that's where I've kind of come in with Memorial Day and the different, Veterans Day and Armed Forces Day. And, you know, I think we need to speak up and give people grace,
Yeah.
and educate and not, and kind of hear each other. Like when I hear you speaking, I hear you with a grateful heart. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Just a genuine kindness and love and respect. And I'm happy I've got these freedoms. I wouldn't imagine living anywhere else. And it's because of you. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's how I hear you. I think that dialogue is important too.
It is. It absolutely is. But people have not been taught. Now, there's a difference, and it comes right back to our freedoms. When I was in school
Hmm.
in the 70s and 80s,
Yeah.
they talk now about critical thinking. We were actually taught how to think. We were actually taught in the 70s and the 80s and before
Hmm.
how to listen.
Hmm.
We were taught how to read for comprehension.
Hmm.
We were taught how to read between the lines
Right.
to understand.
Yeah.
They're not taught that. They're not even taught spelling anymore.
Let's talk about these little things.
Exactly.
I think this has a lot of, I mean, it's good and bad, but
There's good and bad, absolutely.
I think technology and, and I think communication. I have 3 kiddos, and all 3 of my kiddos know Mama hates texting, and I even told my bonus kids I hate texting, and I don't understand like context in like how we're having dialogue.
Mhm.
When you text somebody, you don't understand their context. You don't know if they're being kind or they're being brash. It's
Or
lost
if they're being silly.
or silly. It's lost in this.
It
And
is.
I've told all my kiddos, if you don't understand something or I come across the wrong way, pick up the damn phone and call your mom. Sorry. Pick up your mama. I'm sorry. That's how I've said
You're
it.
fine,
My
you're
kiddos
fine.
will know I say it because I loathe texting. Like I
So much is
loathe
lost.
yes,
So much is lost
yes,
because you don't know inflection,
no,
you don't know tone,
no,
you don't know any body language,
no.
and that's all things that were taught, that you learned in the classroom and just from social interaction, but there is no social interaction
Yeah, yeah,
because, like you said, this right here is your social.
yeah. And you rely so heavy on it, and you think that that's where if it's on social
Mhm.
media, that's it. Yes, breezy. Yes,
Exactly.
it's
Takes out the emotion.
fun. It does. It really, really does. And I think that's even where, having that conversation, we just, with everything, I think in life, not just about the holidays, I think with everything in life, I think having conversation and
Mhm.
nobody's going to agree with everybody on everything.
No, no. What a
But
boring world if we did.
oh my gosh, we would be. We would be.
Oh,
And I think
it'd be
sitting
like the stormtroopers on Star Wars.
yeah,
Hey.
that's where I think, yeah, we need to do better as communicators. And the other another fault that I see, like Twitter or X, whatever you're going to call it, what is it? Breezy knows it better than I do. Is it 150 characters or 160 characters, and that's all you get?
Exactly.
How
And
are
so
you?
then you get the abbreviations that you have to try to decipher.
Yeah, I tried Twitter when it was Twitter, not X, but I did try Twitter years ago, and I
Me too.
hated it. I hated it. It was gone. And the other one that I
Yeah.
don't like is TikTok. I
Oh,
cannot.
I won't even download it. I
Oh,
won't
I
even
had it
download
for
it.
a while, and it was just constant. Like, let's see here, P.S. I want to thank every federal taxpayer for their what? Oh, 300 characters. Oh, I think six.
Wow, they've increased it.
Okay. Yes, I want to thank every federal taxpayer for their. Okay, I being silly, I think. But anyhow, yeah, I think conversation is so important. Conversation really is.
And that's, you have to be able to you have to be able to know how to read body language.
Mhm,
You have to be able to understand inflection,
you do.
tone of voice, and all those things. And that's why autism, Asperger's, those are social disorders
Yeah, they have a hard
because
time.
they don't know how to read body language. They don't know how to read
Mm-mm.
or hear or understand emotion, tone of voice, uh, all of those things. Everything is lost in context because
Yep.
they can't pick up on those cues.
No. Mm-mm.
It's gone.
Yeah.
And so then you're stuck as what's referred to as neurotypical. As a neurotypical, you're stuck trying to explain to a neurodivergent
Mhm.
what you meant when you said something just as plain as day because they've lost all those social cues.
Yeah, very much so. And I have several family members, and then my husband's CSS has autism, and
Mhm.
I who it's freehandly made with Nisi. It's freehandly made AU. It stands for autism. She's
Okay.
autistic. She's maybe 2 years older than me, and um, her dad was in the Air Force. So I met her through my mom's channel, and Nisi has done a really good job. Now, she always tells everybody, when you see one autistic person, you see one autistic person. But she
Exactly.
tries to explain it from a personal note to help people um, maybe change the way that they're having conversation with people with autism to adjust it. And
Mhm.
um and she's very wise, but she got diagnosed with autism when they were trying to figure out what was going on with her son as a kiddo. And I remember her saying, the psychiatrist said, if if he, because he tested positive for autism, if he tested positive for autism, the chances are extremely high that one of the parents is also autistic. And so her husband was like, "Oh, it's definitely not me." And she's like, "It could be me. I've got questions." And so
Mhm.
she went in and was screened and did all the testing. And she was diagnosed formally with autism. Um, you know, let's see here. Yes, he is autistic. Hang on, I just want to see what, as a veteran, I want to thank those who pay their taxes. Yeah,
I understood what you meant,
yes,
Cameron.
yeah,
I understood.
yes, yes. Um, but yeah, I think it's important to understand how to talk to different people too, and taking a step back and just listening. I have
Yeah.
nieces and nephews with autism, and they're all different. One of them is running their own business. And let me just say, I'm a proud auntie. Yes, hot dog.
Well,
He graduated high school just recently, and he is running his own business. He works
that's
and
awesome.
he makes a good money working for himself. And I sit back, I'm just proud. The other one, she's in college. Actually, they're both the two girls are in college. So I mean, I'm just like cheering them on,
That's awesome.
you know.
Ronson is autistic.
Mhm.
Logan's autistic.
Yeah.
Now, it's not father and son, just
No.
clarifying that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but they could pass for father and son.
Right.
Um, but they're both autistic. Um, there's been some talk. I would never bring this up to my dad, but there's been some talk that perhaps my dad is somewhere on the spectrum also.
Oh, okay.
So
That's possible. They say it runs in the family, as does ADHD runs in the family too. I've got several family members with ADHD, and that runs
I
in the family.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised if Ronson's biological dad was autistic,
Mhm.
um, along with other
Mhm.
things. But
Sure.
um, wouldn't have surprised me when I look back on some of the things that I went through with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I mean, I think, knowledge is power, right? I mean,
absolutely.
yeah, it probably, you're probably right. And I think just learning to talk to each other. The same with not the same, not autism's not, I'm not saying anything about our veterans, but it's the same thing with some of the veterans knowing how to speak with them too, right? Because they've had
Hmm.
their lifestyle and then even the ones with brain injury. So Sir Grace has had a brain injury, and when he went to the Shepherd Center, they have the Share Initiative program, and it's for the veterans with PTSD and TBI. And it was in the earlier years, like this was several years ago. When I went down there, they said he has cognitive processing disorder. And I went, oh, I was told, Glenda, you need to speak slower. I used to speak really, 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 really fast, but I had to slow down. And so that way he knew what I was saying. He was not picking up on things, it was flying over. And whenever he gives a certain look, like when we're in a doctor's appointment, when he gives a certain look and that provider is going 100 miles an hour, I can keep
Hmm.
up. But there have been many times I'm like, whoa, whoa, slow down. You don't have to sound stupid. You don't have to talk this slow,
Right, right.
but slow it down so that way he understands what you're saying. Because
Hmm.
you just kind of, go right over him. And a lot of people don't realize you can't see a brain injury, so you don't know internally what's going on inside.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, I mean, that was a new one for me, cognitive processing disorder. It was like,
Hmm.
oh, so this is new. So we got to, and I've been married to him years prior, and he understood what I was saying, and now I have to slow down. But hey, that's all part of it, and learning how to communicate with someone and,
Right,
and relearning,
right.
you know.
Yeah.
So
If we all would just slow down and take time to hear
Mm-hmm.
each other. And sometimes the loudest words are the ones that are not spoken.
Right. Right. Very much so. I think that goes with everything in life too. Everything in life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, we'd be a better society. I always, when I end my lazy Saturday night chats, I always say be kind to someone because you just don't know what they're going through. I mean,
Right.
you just don't. You can't judge a book by its cover,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You just know what you know. So,
Well, and too, there's a lot of invisible disabilities
mhm.
that
Oh,
you will never physically see with your eyes. Um, and just give each other grace.
yeah.
Just realize that there's so much that you will never know
No.
that somebody might be dealing with on the daily.
Right.
Just like with Sir Grace,
Yeah.
um, you'll never see the cognitive processing disorder, but
No.
it's there and it's a disability.
It is. Well, a brain injury, I feel like I can write the book on brain injury. I mean, I just it, we have our
Mhm.
laughs. Okay. So Sir Grace, not that we laugh about the disabilities, but we're at a point in life where we're not going to live our life in the mully grub.
Right.
Okay. So if I come off the wrong way, forgive me, y'all. But you know, it has been such a journey with him. He's not the same person I married. Poor sucker has to put up with me. I mean, I laugh about it all the time. Poor sucker. Because I can be a fireball. And I used to never be that way. I used to be very soft and very quiet and to
Mhm.
myself. But after that fourth deployment and he came home, I was watching him get run over by the military and on active duty. And it was like, oh, no way. No way. And I had to speak up. And I've become pretty brash because of that. But you'll never wonder what's on my mind. Like, if you really want to know what's going on, I'll just start blabbing it. You know what I mean? And you don't have to
Mhm.
read between the lines with me. I'm just going to tell you, listen, buddy, this is what's and I've had a lot of people tell me I'm very brash. My mother included. She's like, Linda, you're not very soft anymore. You're pretty brash. And I'm like, well, that is my
No, you're just speaking your mind and speaking what needs to be said.
yeah, yeah. But I have to be because I'm very protective of him and his care became number one for me. And watching this invisible wound, like people just going given the wrong opinions. I'm telling you, uh, I'm not going to say what the diagnosis was, but I had one provider who we fired who was saying, oh, and it was a psychiatric appointment. And she was trying to diagnose him with something that he never had. And I went, listen, Linda. You be wrong. I have been with this man so many years and I know better. And we fired her as a provider and in the VA system. And I reported her because she wasn't a psychiatrist. She was a psychologist. She was diagnosing. She didn't have that credibility to do it. And, you have to stand up for them. And I sit back and I watch veterans go through their appointments and just like sitting in the lounge and they think that they get all excited they're going to go in and get the help, and I've seen veterans walk out so disappointed and frustrated. I'm like, I wish I could go into all of their appointments and go, okay, let's sit down, let's figure this out, let them talk first and then I'm going to come in behind. I wish I could do it for everybody, but I can only do Sir Grace. and and I have to speak up and be like, listen, you're going down the wrong path. We need to go this way. You know what I mean? Because I want top-notch care. We're not substandard around here. And yeah, Breezy knows me personally. Definitely,
Mhm.
you tell it how it is. Yeah, and it's okay to say I'm pretty brash too, Breezy.
Hey,
Oh,
Scott.
my big brother's in the house. Hey, Scott. Thank you for being here. But yeah, it's just I don't know. I think it's important, to speak up That's my big brother, Scott. Sending you big hugs, and Sir Grace is sending hugs too. Scott is pretty funny though. He will call and he'll start talking about coins, changing gears, and he'll go, "Hey, Sir Grace," and I got this coin, I got that coin, and Sir Grace will take the phone right out of my hand. What are you doing? Those two.
Hey, Jody.
Oh,
Welcome in.
hey, Jody. Thank you for being here. Yeah, he's got a soft spot for Sir Grace. Scott does. So I'm excited. The guys are actually going to meet in person in August. And
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah, I can't wait for that. I imagine I'm going to lose my husband on the ship when he sees Scott. I imagine it's going to be, bye, Glenda. I'll be stuck with Debbie. Hopefully, Debbie, put up with me because I can be pretty brash. Oh, um, but yeah, that's back to communication. I think it's important.
Yeah,
A little bit of kindness too goes a long way.
it sure does. It sure does.
Yeah, yeah. But no, otherwise, I mean, everything is. We had a nice weekend. I took care of Sir Grace, made sure he was. Yeah, that's because he's taking Sir Grace away on the ship. I will not know where he's at. At least I can call the puppers and say his name and bring him back to me. And the puppers will just drag him. Either that or the puppers will just come to mama. That dog is trained. Have to find my family, right? I'm gonna have to get one of those little Apple
Ear
tags.
tags.
Yeah, the air tag, and put it on Sir Grace so I can.
Yeah.
That is gonna be one fun trip, though. The guys.
I wanted to go on that so bad.
I was
And we talked about it when they were doing that, where if you bought your ticket or you got your ticket by April, whatever, you could get it zero down and 0% interest for however long.
Mhm.
We talked about doing that for me.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
it was like, I really didn't want to go on the cruise without Logan.
yeah.
And I didn't know how much it would actually cost for one ticket. And he was just starting his job.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And so I just decided, well, I better not.
Yeah. No, I understand. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Scott and Sir Grace have this race plan that the two of them are he gonna do this, be part of the race, and he's gonna tell Sir Grace which way to drive. And I'm sitting here going, Jesus, take the wheel, as they fly off the ship. So yeah, in Breezy, you might actually get private videos. I might be shipping some to you. The 2,500. Oh, it was 2,500 a person. That's what it was if you had done it by yourself. Um, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I never wanted to go on a cruise. My father-in-law had been asking, like at one point, he was asking us as a family if we would ever do a cruise. And I just told him, there's no way you could get me on a ship. There's no way. I'm so like motion sickness. Now I can fly, no problem. Flying, not an issue. We do it all the time, Sir Grace and I. Um, but on a ship, that motion sickness, it gets to me. It's awful. And so then Scott and Jesse were talking about the cruise, and I went to Sir Grace and I said, "You want to go cruising to Alaska?"
I think that's so funny.
It's hysterical. And I've been to Alaska. So it was just Sir Grace, me, and my oldest kiddo. we flew into Anchorage. And do you remember the Hale Bopp, the comet?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So we were on the plane the night that the people that all drank the bad stuff. I'm gonna be careful how I say this, but you know what I'm saying.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
Drank the Kool-Aid and they unalived, themselves.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so we were on the plane when that was all going down. And when we were up in the air, sorry, back up, our pilot said if you look out to one side, you could see this comet that everybody had been talking about. And he goes, please, not everybody go on that side. Take turns. So we all took turns, to see the comet. And then we landed. And then we heard about the Kool-Aid when we landed in Anchorage. So that's my
Wow.
only experience with being in Alaska. Just the three of us. We went. We were traveling back to the United States to introduce our oldest. Now it's our oldest, but at the time it was our only kiddo. Met our oldest to the family, and yeah, I've only been to Alaska that one time, so I'm really excited. This is actually going to be, a once in a lifetime thing. And Sir Grace and I will have been married 30 years by the time we go on this trip. So we're calling it
Oh,
our 30th wedding anniversary gift from us to us. So
that's so sweet.
yeah, I'm really excited. The VA prescribed goggles. They're like the VR goggles. And
Uh-huh.
so I've got a balcony, and I got the balcony first, right? Because I wanted to see the mountains and I wanted to see the ocean. I wanted to see it all. And then I had to fight the VA because Glenda fights the VA all the time. And I'm like, no, I have booked this cruise. I have got a balcony. So Grace is legally blind. We're gonna find a way so Sir Grace can see those mountains. We're gonna find a way. And took about 2 years of me going, yes, we're gonna get it done, and we're gonna find a way, and we're gonna have them prescribed. Yes, we are. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Because I want Sir Grace to see this. And I didn't care if I had to borrow them and take them back, but one way or another, he was going to see those mountains. And yeah, I'm really thankful. Hello, Gabriel. Thank you for being here. There's lots of hand pink waving, so it's the emoji. So hello, hello. Oh, and look who popped in. Logan. Hey,
Hey,
Logan.
Logan.
And you're from Romania. Well, welcome. Glad you're
Oh,
here.
man.
So I'm excited to see that. But that trip is going to be so much fun. Oh, there's my beautiful Aunt Lynn. Hey, Aunt Lynn.
Hey, Lan.
And she said, hello to Glinda and Karma. Thank you so much. Um, yeah.
Logan, your dog is barking.
Uh-oh.
She'll
Oh.
keep barking until he comes in. He's sitting in the van. He just got
Oh.
home.
Oh, so he knows. He knows.
Yeah, she barks so much. She's elderly. She's 14 and a half. And yeah,
Oh.
she's she's getting old.
Oh. I love old dogs.
Yeah, that's just the doorbell. Mm-hmm. If we don't come in immediately when she sees us pull up, she will bark until we do.
Oh.
She has really bad separation anxiety.
Oh.
So,
Gabriel. I'm waving back at you, Gabriel. Now it's the blue one. I wish it would show the actual emoji,
yeah,
but hello to ya. Aw.
the lighting, something awful. I'm in the shadows
Aw.
again.
So did you get your gardening going? Have you been able to get that up? And
Um, I think I have all but one plant. No, I have more than that to get planted. I have a few peppers and a rosemary to get planted, and then I have 3 zucchini that came up finally that I need to get planted. So,
Oh.
but the irrigation isn't turned on in the park,
Hmm.
so I'm having to hand haul
Oh
water
no.
from the house out to the garden regularly.
Oh.
So, Kendra!
Kendra, thank you
Hey,
for
you
being
made it.
here. Wow, thank you for being here.
So,
Yeah, that's got to be hard though. I hate
it
plant
is.
watering. Mm.
I
So,
have a
oh, go ahead.
I have a 2-gallon water can.
Yeah.
It's heavy. And it takes about 8 or 10 jugs to water everything.
Hmm.
And it's a distance for some of it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Oh, I'm so glad you got that, Kendra. Enjoy. She was the winner of the elderberry syrup kit mix.
yeah.
And I am so glad you got it. Thank you so much for letting me know. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah,
I can't wait for next month's giveaway.
you showed me. I'm still picking out mine. I don't know what I'm going to give away. I'm debating on a couple of things, but you showed me yours and I thought, "Oh, what a good idea." It's going to be one y'all going to want to be paying attention cuz one Tuesday in June we are going to be doing a giveaway. We don't ever tell when it is.
I'm tempted to show everybody what I got so that they come back because this is cool.
I think it's really cool because I told you, I'm like, I don't know. I may have to send you some money to get me one.
Troy might really, really, really like what I won or what I'm giving away. He might want to win this.
Same with Cameraman and Aunt Lynn. That's the others that, and maybe even Breezy. Uh, Yeah.
Should I give him a sneak peek?
Oh, why
Because
not? Why not?
yeah, this is only for the lower 48,
Yeah, unfortunately,
unfortunately, because I can't afford shipping everywhere else.
no.
But I will let you know in the month of June, and I can't tell you which Tuesday because we don't know.
We
And I
don't.
can't
But
tell you what time during the live because we don't know. But I went to our local Albertsons, and in our Albertsons we have a whole end cap by the cash registers full of Idaho souvenir type gifts.
Mhm.
And how many of y'all enjoy playing cards? Like for playing solitaire or um, for playing Old Maid or games like that. Go fish. Well, I found the ultimate deck of playing cards. And you know that Idaho is all about the potato, right? Well, I found this. Let's see if it'll show. Ah, my lighting again.
This is really cool. I may have to send you some money
Oh,
because I
come
may have to
on.
get one of these.
There we go.
There we go.
This is a deck of cards, playing cards, full of recipes on every card.
I don't think anybody's going to want to play games. They're going to be snapping. It's recipes. I think that, yeah, I definitely can see Breezy and Troy trying to win these.
Now, listen to this. This is every card in this deck has a recipe related to potatoes. I got to take my glasses off so I can see it. On the King of Clubs, baked Idaho potato with king crab and Gouda. On the Two of Diamonds, Manchego cheese, Idaho potato croquettes. On the Five of Spades, grilled crispy Idaho potato wedges. On the Eight of Hearts, Idaho potato waffles. Mmm. That's just a little sample of the potato recipes that's on this deck of cards that one lucky person will win in the month of June.
That is like a really unique gift. I think it's so awesome and unique. I think that as people are playing this card game, they're going to be going, hang on a minute, let me get my phone out. It, doesn't it, Breezy? I was thinking of you too. Breezy's quite the cook. Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I don't know which Tuesday we're going to do it or even what time. It might be at the very beginning, might be at the very end, or somewhere smashed in the middle.
We don't know. We don't know.
We don't
And I'm
know.
still
So,
working on my prize giveaway. I don't know what I want to give away. I got to think about this.
so in other words, be here or be square.
Yeah. Yeah. I gave away, I got a partnership, and with AgroThrive. And Aunt Lynn, this is yours. So this is promised Aunt Lynn. She won this. And so they sent me as a sponsor, as a sponsorship, they sent me some to give away. And so I gave these away. And I'm in my second year with AgroThrive. They came recommended to me from an organic nursery that the ladies, Aunt Lynn knows about this one. All of us ladies go out to this lovely little Englishy type garden, and they have a nursery there. And I did one of their classes last year, and they had recommended the AgroThrive, and I used it. And I'm telling you, I had the most tomatoes, and I didn't plant very many tomatoes last year. I had cucumbers. I had like all kinds of zucchini coming out my ears. I kept begging people to take it. And this is all I used. And it is OMRI. It's organic. Very, very good.
Certified.
Yeah, certified. So this makes 2 gallons worth of fertilizer. This little itty bitty
That's a lot for that little tiny bottle.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, like, here's the size of my hand. It's not very big. So yeah, so I'm thinking maybe this is what I'm going to give away, because they gave me some bottles, and then I do have a code. Would it be okay if I share it again?
Sure.
Okay, so I do have a code. So if you get your phones out, you can snap that, and it'll take you straight to my link. I don't have it in the description box below, but if you come back for Saturday night live, I'll have it in the description box. I do get a little bit of a kickback, not much. But if you just use your phone and then just snap it, it'll take you straight to AgroThrive, and I highly recommend them. This year, I am trying their fruit and flower blend, which I don't have because somebody else won the other one and it's packaged up. And the rest of my bottles are in downstairs, but I'm giving their fruit and flower one a try, but this is their all purpose. So you're going to pick it up Sunday. Well, great, because Sunday I can share this. So we don't ever tell who it is, but we do Queen for a Day in my family.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to do it on Saturdays. It didn't work for everybody, and I kept missing my live on Saturday because it would always run right into my Saturday night lives. So we do Queen for a Day, where we honor a different woman in the family each session, and this person is a queen for a day, and this time I'm hosting Queen for a Day at my house. I was supposed to host it last time, but I just got overwhelmed and just didn't have time to get my house together, and a gazillion things were going on at once and a lot of renovations. So I asked my mom if she could take over for me, and she did. But this time I'm officially hosting it. And we are going to do pot roast for,
Cool.
yeah, we were trying to come up with, so we have allergies in the family. Different people have different allergies. And I was trying to find one that was like, what's a good thing that we haven't done, yet food wise. And it just came to me. I'm like, pot roast. I will get a nice big roast. I need everybody to bring the sides. And I have officially Aunt Lynn, you're going to get to try some of my bourbon vanilla ice cream.
Ooh, that sounds yummy.
Mm-hmm. I actually already have started making it. I have the first batch in the freezer right now, and I have my canister in the freezer so that way I can get the next batch going. So I made bourbon vanilla ice cream. It is so good. It's all from scratch. All it is it's half and half, and it's sugar and bourbon vanilla and whipping cream, and you literally just put it in the thing and then freeze it, and it's so good. My mom was like, "What toppings?" I need to, but
You
it's
have to make the noise.
the actual noise because it goes it around.
Oh, okay. I did it wrong the first time. But you have to make the noise in order for it to
Make
work.
the noise. But anyhow, my mother was asking me, she's like, "What toppings go good on it?" And I'm just a purist. I like Aunt Lynn. You've not had it yet, but I'm a purist. I just don't put any toppings on it. But I guess mom's going to bring some toppings, some chocolate syrup and some strawberry syrup. And I told mom I've got some blueberry syrup that I made from scratch from the blueberries that I picked at my neighbor's house. So I might
Toffee peanuts. Toffee peanuts or almonds or something like that would be really good on that.
that bourbon, yeah, it is.
Mhm.
And the bourbon vanilla is what I made. I just get a big bottle of Evan Williams, and I put vanilla beans down in it, and I let it age at least 2 years. This one that I used is 5 years old now, the vanilla that I used for this. So it's got a really good bourbon vanilla flavor, and it doesn't take much. It's no different than using regular vanilla extract. It's just that it's a different kind of alcohol that you're using. So it's really good.
That sounds awesome.
So I'm working on that. So Aunt Lynn will be over here for Queen for a Day. And Aunt Lynn, it's sitting right here. There's your bottle. That's your personal. Your label's not on it, but I know whose it belongs to. So we'll give it to you. That's usually when I give her, she wins prizes too from Jesse and Lisa all the time. And it's usually at the Queen for the Day that I'm like, here's your winnings, because it comes to my PO box. So yeah. Oh, so you're going to be giving something away too? Well, I know you gave in that last one was the magnet for Babby Farms, which I think was so cool.
Yeah.
I'm expecting a video and payback, sis. Well, okay, maybe then, because I do have another batch of vanilla, that are bourbon vanilla ice cream that I need to make. I might do that for you, Troy. And
Yeah,
I'll
that would be good.
Fire channel on the YouTube is where I'll put it. I won't be on Instagram. The Instagram is literally just my chickens, but I don't ever post anything else but my girls, because that's what people come there for, is they like to see the hens of Grace and Fire, as I call it, the hens of Grace and Fire. So I will do that, and I'll put it on YouTube just for you, Troy, and I'll tag you. I'll do that for you.
Awesome.
Yes.
I'll be looking forward to that.
Now it might just be a short, okay? Because when I go to do this, it's kind of a quick video. It's like literally you just pour, dump, put it in the machine.
Yeah, got to get the noise in there. Make sure the noise is in there. I'll be watching for it.
and then pour it into the container. But yeah, I'll do it there for you, Troy. How's that? I'll make you a video on this bourbon vanilla ice cream. And
With the
I've given
you
it.
gotta have the bourbon.
I don't make it a whole lot. I usually just make it like if I know my kiddos are coming, I like to make it for them. Sir Grace, he asked for it for his birthday one year. I don't make it like a whole lot because we don't eat a whole lot of ice cream. Although last night I did have a hankering for a Culver's custard.
Ooh.
I had a chocolate custard. It's a shelf sitter. Oh, okay, cool. That is a funny thing to say. Say that 5 times out loud. I'm not going to say it
Yeah,
yourself.
I know.
But
I'll leave that for you to say. I know what happens.
I told that to Jesse and Lisa. I'm like, man, I stumble on my words when it comes to a shelf sitter, when you're going fast.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like something else. So just y'all say it out loud to yourselves. Ah. Okay, Minnie. Minnie Pearl looks like my cat that we used to have.
This is Opal. Opal Rain.
Oh,
She is a female version of Topper.
oh yeah.
This
Oh,
is another one of China's 6-pack.
oh. Is Minnie Pearl by close to you? Because I want to show Breezy Minnie Pearl. Minnie Pearl reminds me of Faith.
I think this is Minnie. Nope, this is Idaho. I got Idaho.
Ah,
Idaho Joe.
quite the little
He's cute.
spud. He's quite the little spud.
He's got that little shape on his head, on his forehead that looks like the shape of Idaho. He's the one that I saved. He's
Oh,
not happy.
oh,
I don't know where Minnie went.
oh. Well, if Minnie comes around, I want to show Breezy. You know what's really hard to say fast? Shoulder surgery. I have trouble with it every time I say it. Yes, I'm going to tell you, I had shoulder surgery last year. I guess you just had it done, and so yeah, I had shoulder surgery last year, and saying it when you're coming off the medication from the hospital. Just a little bit hard, just a little bit. Hopefully, if you did have surgery, hopefully it heals well. I had the number one shoulder surgeon in my area do my surgery, and I can actually lift my hand all the way up, straight up for the first time, like no problems, no pain, and yeah, it's no fun leading up to it. The recovery wasn't that bad, but right, right. Whenever you're coming out of surgery and you're trying to say, I just had shoulder surgery.
Soldier surgery.
Right. That's a hard one to say. Yeah.
I had shoulder surgery and then later ended up having a torn rotator cuff, but it wasn't bad enough to do surgery. But I also tore the biceps tendon and it wasn't bad enough to do surgery. So my shoulder is really messed up.
So 7 years prior to, well, now it's been 8 years. Okay. So 8 years ago, but it was 7 years at the time because I'm a year out from the surgery. But I went and saw an orthopedic doctor and asked him, I was having a hard time moving my arm up and down. And he did an MRI and told me, you're just fine, Glenda. There's nothing wrong with you. So that was in 2017. In 2020, I was still having problems. And I went in and she got a different orthopedic doctor. I went sports medicine this time. And she said, let's put you in some PT and let's get you built, get you going. And so then I just didn't get better. And she said, well, why don't we order an MRI. And I went, okay. So they ordered the MRI, and then I get a call on a Sunday from the doctor's office. Now it's Sunday. Think about that. Scary
Mhm.
Sunday. And they said, it was the office staff. And she said, Dr. So-and-so, who is my orthopedic doctor, she said, needs to speak to you first thing tomorrow morning in the office. She is withholding her vacation until you come in.
Wow.
And I went, okay. So I went in, and she's on that Monday morning. Of course, we're now during when like the shutdown period, and I had to come by myself, masked up, everything. And she said, Glenda, we think you have chondrosarcoma, and we're going to send you on to an orthopedic oncologist. So it deterred me. And I always think there's an airman that had chondrosarcoma and passed away from it. But he had shared his journey with me, and that long journey, it was 10 years. And incredible airman, still holds a spot in my heart. He now lives at Arlington National Cemetery. But he really inspired me to go ahead and have mine taken out, because it's one that they don't always take out. You can live your life with chondrosarcoma and not have it taken out. But I chose to go ahead and have it taken out. Being caregiver, it was just kind of one of those situations.
Mhm.
So if you ever, I wear a lot of tank tops because I go to the gym and I work out and I get hot. But when I do the YouTube, I try to cover it up. But I have a big old nasty scar, but that's my pride and joy. And that's my
Your
thank you.
badge of honor.
Thank you to my airman that saved my life by telling me about it. So then it's gone. I have metal, for a long time, I used to tell Sir Grace, I have more metal than you, and you're the wounded warrior, and now he's kind of caught up, but for a different reason. But anyhow, so then I just started still having that pain. And I had switched doctors because my insurance, whatnot. I ended up getting a different doctor. He was an Air Force veteran. And I thought, well, I'm just going to go Air Force veteran because they've got, I speak their language. They speak my language. If I go in and say, I need the miracle drug of the Air Force, he knows exactly what it is. And Troy, it's the Army too. It's 800 milligrams of Motrin. It's the miracle drug. So it's our little joke. But anyhow, so went through PT, did another MRI, and he
Hey,
said,
Tiffany.
hey, Tiffany, thank you for being here. He said, I'm going to send you on to see the number one shoulder doctor because they had found some problems with it. And my bicep tendon tore. And so the doctor, my mom and Sir Grace went together because Sir Grace is, legally blind. So he couldn't go, couldn't drive me to the hospital. So mom drove me and Sir Grace came along. He pulled the two of them apart, or not apart, but together, pulled them after the surgery. And I was still in recovery. And he told both of them, she got in here just in the nick of time. Her bicep tendon was literally hanging on by a thread.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. I was ignored. This started 7 years prior. I was ignored from the first doctor. He not only saw the chondrosarcoma, but he saw the bicep tendon stuff, and it allowed it to get worse. So, God had a hand on the journey I needed to go on, and that's the way I see it. But I have full range of motion now. So I love
That's
it.
wonderful.
I love it. I love it. But yeah, so that's, if anybody sees a nasty scar, that's my badge of honor. You won't see the bicep tendon because the number one shoulder doctor did it, and he good. He good. So, but the other one, not so much.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I've had a few of those.
Yeah. But anyhow, but we're here. That's all that matters.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, girl, it has been almost 2 hours, so I'm
I see that.
probably gonna have to get moving.
So what are you having for dinner?
I don't know yet. I had a protein shake. I'm not gonna lie. There is my protein shake. So I don't know. I've got to go home or go downstairs. I am home. I have to go downstairs and figure that out. I don't know. Maybe leftovers. We have pot roast that I made the other day, and maybe just leftovers. It's got some vegetables, and that kind of sounds good. How about you? What are you gonna have?
Hey, Logan, what are we going to have?
What's for dinner, Logan? Okay, well,
No, I know he got some tenderloin steaks out.
ooh, that sounds good.
So probably steak,
Okay,
but I don't know. Beyond that.
we don't know. Don't start. Saturday night dance party. Yes, there is going to be a Saturday night dance party, but before then, before the Saturday night, Thursday.
I hope to have a video out for Thursday. If not, it'll be Friday. But I will have a Thoughts for Thursday video out again this week. And if you have not seen last week's, please go watch it. And
Ooh, top sirloin. Mm.
oh, I thought it was tenderloin. Steak anyway. So there will be a video out for your thoughts for Thursday. And then Saturday is lazy.
Lazy Saturday night chat at 4:45 Eastern Standard Time. I'm going before Jesse and Lisa this week. So from at 4:45, come on over and join me as we just sit down and have a lazy chat. It's just whatever. So
Yeah.
yeah. And then on Monday is
Monday is Meet Me Monday. At this moment, I don't have a guest scheduled, but I'm working on that. Um, I want to encourage anybody who has already been a guest to reach out to 5 people that you know who are creators. That it can be any genre. It doesn't have to be the homesteading, gardening community. Any genre. Share the link for the Google forms. It's found in my About section. Um, it's the interview request form. Share that with them or point them in the right direction. Choose 5 people that you know who is a creator and encourage them to fill out that form and come on over for an interview.
yeah. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of
I
fun.
have been reaching out and reaching out and reaching out to people and kind of hitting a dead end. And I get a couple of people who say, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll come on." And I keep pursuing, trying to set up a date, and I don't hear back from them.
Mm.
So I am at the place where I have one person that wants to come on, and I see that comment, Scott.
I'm coming back. We'll circle around. I'm gonna highlight it, and we're circling around. Keep going, girl.
Anyway, I have one person lined up. I just need to get it set in stone with them. They want to come on, so I won't have a problem getting them on. I just got to get the date set and get them lined up. But that's it. I need guests in order to continue with Meet Me Monday.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm encouraging everybody who's already been here to invite 5 people to come on for an interview.
And it's easy. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. I enjoyed my Meet Me Monday. I was wanting to do it yesterday, but I had plans for Sir Grace. And
Yeah, that's fine. It
I
was a short notice.
I think it was a lot of fun. I mean, I went back and I watched the replay at dinner, and I'm like, this is like a lot of fun.
I'm going to do it again and invite ahead of time some of those who I invited yesterday and others to come on and share their experience, because I got to looking, and June 17th will be my 1 year anniversary for Meet Me Monday.
Oh
And
my
so I
gosh,
kind
that
of
has
want to,
flown.
yeah, I kind of want to go back and just do what I did yesterday, but I would love to get like 3 or 4 of you on at the same time
Yeah.
and everybody talk together
Yeah.
and share your experience of being on Meet Me Monday, and just bounce ideas back like what we did yesterday. But I will plan a little better for. It was a last minute. I've got Meet Me Monday
Oh,
tomorrow. What am I going to do?
oh gosh, I wanted to go. I mean, I genuinely did. And I'm like, oh, but I had this appointment set. So,
Yeah, that's
I'll
okay.
text it. It's not a normal time for us either. So it was just kind of one of those, oh, let's do it. So that's what we were doing.
Yeah. Well, and here's the other thing too. On Meet Me Monday, I can accommodate time schedules. It does not have, they don't have to be there live at 1 Mountain, 3 Eastern.
Right.
If they can't be there at that time, I can meet with them at a time that's convenient and pre-record the video.
Yeah.
Um, I might even, depending on the channel, whatever, I might even be able to do Meet Me Monday prime time. I'm
Oh,
going to possibly be doing that with a human slash animal chiropractor.
no. Sir Grace's puppy has a chiropractor. That's pretty cool. It really is a thing.
It is. It is.
We like our puppy chiropractor. She's amazing. Speaking of Sir Grace, did I say Sir Grace is a queen for a day? Well, you will have to like have that conversation with him. Maybe you could put the royal tiara on Sir Grace's head, and then we could all just like run around the ship with him being queen for a day on the ship.
You know what? Here, if Sir Grace is going to be queen for the day, that means that Scott has
Scott
to be
has to
queen
take,
for the day.
yes, yes. We'll crown both of you guys on the same day on the ship. Don't you worry.
Queens for a day.
Queens for a day. Well, speaking of Scott, I do want to put a plug in if that's okay.
Sure.
Tomorrow is the official Ann Lynn show at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And my big brother is stepping in for my mom and for me because my mom has an appointment that I have to take her to. So you definitely, oh, there goes my vacuum cleaner.
Any chickens riding?
Not right now. The vacuum cleaner is going, and I apologize. Let me turn that off. But tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, please go over to the official Ann Lynn show and support the two of them as Aunt Lynn and Scott take over the official Ann Lynn show. I know it's going to be a lot of fun, and there's going to be maybe some shenanigans because Scott is all about the shenanigans. Have you ever seen his Thursday show at noon Eastern Standard Time? See what I'm doing for you? But yeah, so they're going to be up to no good. And two spoiled brats. Yeah, that's what it'll be tomorrow. The internet uncle should be getting it. Yeah, well, that would be Uncle Cameraman, but So if you guys could go over and check out the Ann Lynn show, even if you watch it on the replay, that just helps them out. Yeah.
I'll be just getting back home from dropping Logan off at work. He's got new hours, so.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. My vacuum cleaner is, they're smart vacuum cleaners, but she'd be stuck right now not listening. She's kind of dumb. Her name is Rosie, and Rosie is about to knock over something. But yeah, my chickens like to ride my vacuum cleaners and perch on their mama's shoulder as we're going back out to the chicken coop.
When I go to clean the litter boxes at night, I have about 3 kittens that like to help. One of them likes to grab the handle and try to help me shake the handle of the poopy scooper,
Oh,
and one likes to climb in while I'm trying to scoop and has actually sat in the scooper so I couldn't. And yeah, so I have lots of help.
oh my goodness. Animals, like they like to help. Minnie likes to supervise Sir Grace. She will go up to him whenever he's like working on the chicken run, and she'll just talk to him. Wah, wah, wah. And she just watches him, but she won't do it for me. She just does it for him. But anyhow. Well, thank you to everybody for joining us
Yes.
tonight. And
Thank you so much.
come on back next week for another episode of Talk About It Tuesday. No tacos required.
No tacos. And there's a deck of cards with potato recipes. You never know when that's going to show up as a giveaway. Could be next week. You never know. Might be later in the month.
Who knows?
Better show up or you won't get them.
That's it. That's it. Oh, wait a minute, real quick. I'm sorry about yesterday, Karma. Oh, just need to say
Oh, it's okay.
he's been working hard with NCL. We have a new agent, and it's just been a hot mess express that
What is this, about the fourth agent you've had since you guys started planning this?
let me tell you, Scott's probably going to need a stiff drink after all this. So, yeah, bless his heart. Anyhow, well, we'll see you guys next week.
Yes.
Same
Next
time,
week.
same place.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.